Hello, hello. Thank you for watching another episode of Cooking with Gravy with Jason Graves. Today's recipe is going to be hot Dagos. Plenty of meat, plenty of cheese, plenty of flavor. Today's recipe is going to taste great because it's made with plenty of love. Now, today's recipe is going to be linked into the description section of the video. If you do want to see in the independent video, we do have its own independent meat video, sauce video, and so forth. Now, we also are going to be dividing the video into 3 different sections: meat, sauce, and finishing. The first part's going to be nice, easy, and lazy. We're going to throw everything in there, mix it, and call it a day. Now, we're throwing there right now 1 pound of hot Italian sausage, 1 pound of mild Italian sausage. We're going to have Italian seasoning we're going to throw in there, which is about half a tablespoon. We have fennel seeds. Now, that's going to be 1/2 tablespoon in there. We're going to have chopped up garlic, which is 1 tablespoon. Now, we're just going to throw everything in there. We're going to mix it, cook it, and call it a day. Easy and lazy. Now, an optional thing you can also add in there is 3/4 to 1 cup Panko Bread Crumbs in there. Or you can use regular breadcrumbs. I usually prefer the Panko ones. Today's little visual is not going to have that, but it is definitely an option. Now, if you do like this video, on the bottom in the description section, you're going to see the recipe that's going to be there. So you're going to see a nice little visual of it too. If you have any questions, everything you need is right there. Now, we're going to cook on a medium heated cooking surface today. So we can control the temperature, get what we need to get done. Now, this is one of those recipes you're going to have to eye on what is cooked on there. So we're just going to rotate the meatball slowly, cook it on a medium heated surface, and call it a day. You can also bake this at 400 degrees, just rotate it every so often. Now, this is the fully mixed item that we have right here. We threw in the breadcrumbs. The patties, do not make them too big. Just make them big enough for exactly what you need. If they're too thick, they will not cook all the way through. Now, we're also going to throw them in the oven. Just keep them at a decent temperature so when we do serve them, they are not cold and we don't need to over microwave everything. The oven does not dry out these items that much, so just be cautious of when you put them in the oven, because we don't want to overcook them naturally. Now, the other items that we're going to start working with real quick are going to be the sauteing of the bell peppers and onions. We have around 1 cup of bell pepper, 1 cup of onions. Just cook them until they are the proper texture. I don't like them to be too raw for what we're going to be using. So this is the final product right here. Now, the next thing we're going to be working with is famous pepperoni sauce recipe. This is so delicious, it's amazing. Now, this recipe, we're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to throw into a medium heated pan. Do not make it too hot because we do not want to burn our sauce. While putting your ingredients in, don't forget to stir. We're going to be stirring for around 17 to 20 minutes. We're going to throw in there next 1 tablespoon of chopped up garlic with 1 cup of chopped up pitted olives. No pits at all. We want to make sure we have no pits in there. Now we're going to have 1 cup of chopped up onions, 1 cup of chopped up mushrooms. We're just going to throw in there. Nice, easy, and lazy. Now, if you do want to get a copy of this recipe, it is in the description section of the video, so please don't be shy clicking on that. We're going to also throw in 1 cup of water in there. We're going to have 1 can of 29-ounce crushed tomatoes we're going to throw in there. Do not drain the can, throw it in there. We want all those flavors. We have 1 can of 6-ounce tomato paste we're just going to throw in there. Do not forget to stir while you're doing this. And we're going to have oregano we're going to toss in there. That's around 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. Naturally, these seasonings can be altered later on. Now, the next thing we're going to have is basil, which is 2 teaspoons of basil we're going to throw in there. Then we have black pepper, which is going to be a 1/4 teaspoon. You can add a little more if you want. We have Dijon mustard, which is going to be 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. We have parsley we're going to throw in there. I highly recommend the fresh parsley. You get about 1/2 cup in there. Then we're going to have 1 cup of personal favorite, pepperoni. Throw everything in there, stir it. Now, as I said, you stir this around 17-20 minutes, don't let it settle. Alright, like any good cook, we're going to be doing some multitasking. So we're going to work on our bread while we're finishing off the sauce and the other items. Now, for the bread, you can do a couple different ways of doing it. You could do French bread in the oven with some butter, some garlic on there, and just bake it that way. We have some pre-made French bread we're just going to throw in there and just start off with that. Now, we're going to be just putting together the Hot Dago right now. Please leave the oven on because we're going to use that to melt the cheese. Please do not melt the cheese in the microwave because it can make the bread chewy. You want to make sure the bread stays crisp. So, pretty easy setup. We got our bread, we have our meat. We're going to throw a delicious sauce on there. Now, the amount of cheese you can throw on there is pretty much anything you want. Now, this is, as I said, we're going to be putting this in the oven. So, the reason is, as I said, we want to melt the cheese, but the oven crisp the bread. Do not microwave because you want to make sure this meal that we worked on very hard goes phenomenal. So we're just toss it off with a little bit of some peppers, some onions, and put it in the oven just for the cheese to melt. We're not trying to destroy it. Just throw it in there, and it will be amazing. Now Now you could do multiple ones at the same exact time. Depends how risky you're feeling. Right now, I'm just currently working on 2 of them. So, me personally, if you just got a couple of people you're working with, for this, 1 at a time is fine. You just don't want to push it because this stuff can fall over. Now this is our final product right here. It is melted, it is gooey, it is delicious. And you know what? Just for giggles today, we're going to throw a little extra Parmesan cheese powdered on top of there just to give it that little extra kick. Now, my wife was the taste tester today and we did not have any complaints. So this is a good little close-up. And I hope you folks enjoy the meal. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.